Good morning,
Just
everyone.
kidding.
So today we are going to start from the part 4, how to rally those who believe. Yes, please
Yeah.
proceed. Let me expand the screen. Okay. Yeah, please.
Start with why, but know how. Energy excites, charisma inspires. Rah with a roar, Steve Ballmer, the man who replaced Bill Gates as CEO of Microsoft, bursts on the stage of the company's annual Global Summit meeting. Ballmer loves Microsoft. He says so in no uncertain words. He also knows how to pump up a crowd. His energy is almost folkloric. He pumps his fists and runs from one end of the stage to the other. He screams and he sweats. He is remarkable to watch, and the crowd loves it. As Ballmer proves, without a doubt, energy can motivate a crowd. But can it inspire a population? What happens the next day or the next week when Ballmer's energy is not there to motivate his employees? His is energy enough to keep a company of about 80,000 people focused? Scroll up, please. In contrast, Bill Gates is shy and awkward, a social misfit. He does not fit the stereotype of the leader of a multi-billion-dollar corporation. He is not the most energetic public speaker. When Bill Gates speaks, however, people listen with bated breath. They hang on his every word. When Gates speaks, he does not rally a room, he inspires it. Those who hear him take what he says and carry his words with them for weeks, months, or years. Gates does not have energy, but Bill Gates inspires. Energy motivates, but charisma inspires. Energy is easy to see, easy to measure, and easy to copy. Charisma is hard to define, nearly impossible to measure, and too elusive to copy. All great leaders have charisma because all great leaders have clarity of why and an undying belief in a purpose or cause bigger than themselves. It is not Bill Gates' passion for computers that inspires us, it is his undying optimism that even the most complicated problems can be solved. He believes we can find ways to remove obstacles to ensure that everyone can live and work to their greatest potential. It is his optimism to which we are drawn. Living through the computer revolution, he saw the computer as a perfect technology to help us all become more productive and achieve our greatest potential. That belief inspired his vision of a PC on every desk to come to life. Ironic considering Microsoft never even made PCs. It was not just what computers did that. Gates saw the impact for the new technology. It was why we needed them. Today, the work he does with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has nothing to do with the software, but it is another way he has found to bring his why to life. He is looking for ways to solve problems. He still has an undying belief, and he still believes that if we can help people, this time those with less privilege, remove some seemingly simple obstacles, then they too will have an opportunity to be more productive and lift themselves up to achieve their great potential. For Gates, all that has changed is what he is doing to bring his cause to life. Charisma has nothing to do with energy. It comes from a clarity of why. It comes from absolute conviction in an ideal bigger than oneself. Energy, in contrast, comes from a good night's sleep or loads of caffeine. Energy can excite, but only charisma can inspire. Charisma commands loyalty. Energy does not. Energy can always be injected into an organization to motivate people to do things. Bonuses, promotions, other carrots, and even a few sticks can get people to work harder for sure. But the gains are, like all manipulations, short term. Over time, such tactics cost more money and increase stress for employee and employer alike, and eventually will become the main reason people show up for work every day. That is not loyalty. That is the employee's version of repeat business. Loyalty among employees is when they turn down more money or benefits to continue working at the same company. Loyalty to a company trumps pay and benefits. And unless you are an astronaut, it is not the work we do that inspires us either. It is the cause we come to work for. We do not want to come to work to build a wall. We want to come to work to build a cathedral. The chosen path. Raised in Ohio, 60 miles from Dayton, Neil Armstrong grew up on a healthy diet of stories about the Wright brothers. From a very early age, he dreamed of flying. He would make model airplanes, read magazines about flying, and stare at the heavens through a telescope mounted on the roof of his house. He even got his pilot's license before he got his driver's license, with a childhood passion that became reality. Armstrong was destined to become an astronaut. For the rest of us, however, our careers paths are more like Jeff Sumter's. While Sumter was in high school, his mother arranged for him to get a summer internship at the bank where she worked. 4 years after he finished high school, he called the bank to see if he could do some part time work, and they eventually offered him a full time job. Whammo Jeffs got a career as a banker. In fact, after 15 years in the industry, he and a colleague by the name of Trey Most went on to start their own bank, Lewis and Clark Bank, in Portland, Oregon. Sumter is a very good at what he does. He has been one of the top performing loan officers throughout his career. He is well liked and well respected among his colleagues and clients. But even Jeff will admit that he doesn't have much of a passion for banking per se. Though he is not living out his childhood dream, he is passionate for something. It is not what he does that gets him out of bed every morning, it is why he does it. Our career paths are largely incidental. I never planned to be doing what I am doing now. As a kid, I wanted to be an aeronautical engineer, but in college, I set my sights on becoming a criminal prosecutor. While I was in law school, however, I became disillusioned with the idea of being a lawyer. It just didn't feel right. I was at law school in England where the law is one of the last truly English professions. Not wearing a pin-striped suit to an interview could hurt my chances of getting a job. This was not my cup of tea. I happened to be dating a young woman who was studying marketing at a Syracuse university. She could see what inspired me and what frustrated me about the law and suggested I try my hand in the field. And Vamo, I had gotten myself a new career in marketing. But that is just one of the things I have done. It is not my passion and it is not how I define my life. My cause to inspire people to do the things that inspire them is why I get out of bed every day. The excitement is trying to find new ways, different what's to bring my cause to life, of which this book is one. Regardless of what we do in our lives, our why, our driving purpose, cause, or belief never changes. If our golden circle, if our golden circle is in balance, what we do is simply the tangible way we find to breathe life into that cause. Developing software was merely one of the things Bill Gates did to bring his cause to life. An airplane gave Hub Kelleher the perfect outlet to spread his belief in freedom. Putting a man on the moon was the goal John F. Kennedy used to rally people to bring to life his belief that service to the nation and not being serviced by the nation would lead America to advance and prosper. Apple gave Steve Jobs a way to challenge the status quo and do something big in the world. All the things that these charismatic leaders did were the tangible ways they found to bring their whys to life. But none of them could have imagined what they would be doing when they were young. When a why is clear, those who share that belief will be drawn to it and maybe want to take part in bringing it to life. If that belief is amplified, it can have the power to rally even more believers to raise their hands and declare, I want to help. With a group of believers all rallying around a common purpose, cause, or belief, amazing things can happen, but it takes more than inspiration to do become great. Inspiration only starts the process. You need something more to drive a movement. Yes, Pranvi wants to read.
Good morning to all. Am I audible?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, please.
Amplify the source of inspiration. The golden circle is not just a communication tool, it also provides some insight into how great organizations are organized. As we start to add dimension to the concept of the golden circle, it is no longer helpful to look at it as a purely two dimensional model. If it is to provide any real value in how to build a great organization in our very three dimensional world, the golden circle needs to be three dimensional. The good news is it is. It is, in fact, a top down view of a cone. Turn it on its side, and you can see its full value. Start with why. The cone represents a company or an organization, an inherently hierarchical and organized system. Sitting at the top of the system, representing the why, is a leader. In the case of a company, that usually the CEO or At least we hope it is. The next level down, the how level, typically includes the senior executives who are inspired by the leader's vision and know how to bring it to the life. Do not forget that a why is just a belief. Hows are the actions we take to realize that belief, and what are the results of those actions. No matter how charismatic or inspiring the leader is, oh my God, yeah, if there are not people in the organization inspired to bring the vision to reality, to build an infrastructure with the system and processes, then at best inefficiency reigns and at worst failure results. In this rendering, the how level represents a person or a small group responsible for building the infrastructure that can make a why tangible. That may happen in marketing, operations, finance, human resources, and all other C suite departments. Beneath that, at the what level, is where the rubber meets the road. It is at this level that the majority of the employees sit and where all the tangible stuff actually happens. I have a dream, and he's got the plan. Dr. King said he had a dream and he inspired people to make his dream their own. What Ralph Abernathy lent the movement, status, but why, but know how, was something else. He knew what it would take to realize that dream and he showed people how to do it. He gave the dream structure. Dr. King spoke about the philosophical implication of the movement, while Abernathy, Dr. King's one-time mentor, long-time friend and financial secretary and treasurer of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, would help people understand the specific steps they need to take. Now, Abernathy would tell the audience following a rousing address by Dr. King. Let me tell you what that means for tomorrow morning. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was the leader, but he did not change America alone. Though Dr. King inspired the movement to actually move people, requires organizing. As is the case with almost all great leaders, there were others around Dr. King who knew better how to do that. For every great leader, for every why type, there is an inspired how type or group of how types who takes the intangible cause and build the infrastructure that can give it life. That infrastructure is what actually makes any measurable change or success possible. The leader sits at the top of the cone. At the start, the point of why, while the how types sits below and are responsible for actually making things happen. The leader imagines the destination and the how types find the route to get there. A destination without a route leads to meandering and inefficiency, something a great many why types will experience without the help of others to ground down. A route without a destination, however, may be efficient, but to what end? It's all fine and good to know how to drive, but it's more fulfilling when you have a place to go. Dr. King, Ralph Aberneth, was one of those he inspired and who know how to make the cause actionable and tangible. Dr. King's job was to interpret the ideology and theology of nonviolence, said Aberneth. My job was more simple and down to earth. I would tell people, don't ride those buses. Is anyone interested to read or should I go ahead?
I will read. Pranavi, you can read little more, then I'll read. No issues.
Okay, start with why. In every case of a great charismatic leader who ever achieved anything of significance, there was always a person or small group looking in the shadows who knew how to make the vision and make it a reality. Dr. King had a dream, but no matter how inspiring a dream may be, a dream that cannot come to life stays a dream. Dr. King dreamed of many of the same things as countless other African Americans who grew up in the pre civil rights South. He spoke of many of the same themes. He felt the same outrage perpetrated by an unjust system. But it was King's unflappable optimism and his words that inspired a population. Dr. King didn't change America by himself. He was not a legislator, for example, but legislation was created to give all people in the United States equal rights. Just a moment. Yes, equal rights regardless of skin color. It was not Dr. King who changed America. It was a movement of millions of others whom he inspired that changed the course of history. But how do you organize millions of people? Forget millions. How do you organize hundreds or tens of people? The vision and charisma of the leader are enough to attract the innovators and the early adapters. Trusting their guts and their intuition, these people will make the greatest sacrifices to help see the vision become a reality. With each success, with every tangible demonstration that the vision can, in fact, become reality, the more practical minded majority starts to take interest. What was previously just a dream soon becomes a probable and tangible reality. And when that happens, a tipping point can be reached, and then things really get moving. Yeah, please go ahead. Thank you all.
Yeah. Those who know why need those who know how. The pessimists are usually right. To paraphrase Thomas Friedman, author of The Word is Flat, but it's not the optimists who change the word. Bill Gates imagined a world in which the computer could help us all reach our greatest potential, and it happened. Now he imagines a world in which malaria does not exist, and it will happen. The Wright brothers imagined a world in which we would all take to the skies as easily as we catch the bus, and it happened. Why types have the power to change the course of industries or even the world, if only they know how. Why types are the visionaries, the ones with the overactive imaginations. They tend to be optimists who believe that all the things they imagine are actually be accomplished. How types live more in the here and now. They are the realists and have a clearer sense of all things practical. Y types are focused on the things most people can't see, like the future. How types are focused on things most people can see and tend to be better at building structures and processes and getting things done. One is not better than the other. They are just different ways people naturally see and experience the world. Gates is a Y type. So were the Wright brothers and Steve Jobs and Herb Keller, but they didn't do it alone. They couldn't. They needed those who knew how. If it hadn't been for my big brother, I would have been in jail several times for checks bouncing, said Walt Disney, only half joking to a Los Angeles audience in 1957. I never knew what was in the bank. He kept me on the straight and narrow. Walt Disney was a Y type, a dreamer whose dream came true thanks to the help of his more sensible older brother Roy, a How type. Walt Disney began his career creating cartoon drawings for advertisements but moved quickly to making animated movies. It was in 1923 and Hollywood was emerging as the heart of the movie business and Walt wanted to be part of it. Roy, who was 8 years older, had been working at a bank. Roy was always in awe of his brother's talent and imagination, but he also knew that Walt was prone to taking risks and to neglecting business affairs. Like all Y guys, Walt was busy thinking about what the future looked like and often forget he was living in the present. Walt Disney dreamed, drew, and imagined. Roy stayed in the shadow, forming an empire. wrote Bob Thomas, a Disney biographer. A brilliant financier, a businessman, Roy helped turn Walt Disney's dreams into reality, building the company that bears his brother's name. It was Roy who founded the Buena Vista Distribution Company that made Disney films a central part of American childhood. It was Roy who created the merchandising business that transformed Disney characters into household names. And like almost every How type, Roy never wanted to be the frost man. He preferred to stay in the background and focus on how to build his brother's vision. Most people in the world are how types. Most people are quite functional in the real world and can do their jobs and do very well. Some may be very successful and even make millions of dollars, but they will never build billion-dollar businesses or change the world. How types don't need why types to do well, but why guys, for all their vision and imagination, often get the short end of the stick. Without someone inspired by their vision and the knowledge to make it a reality, most Y types end up as starving visionaries, people with all the answers but never accomplish much themselves. Although so many of them fancy themselves visionaries, in reality, most successful entrepreneurs are how types. Ask an entrepreneur what they love about being an entrepreneur, and most will tell you they love to build things. That they talk about building is a sure clue that they know how to get things done. A business is a structure, systems, and processes that need to be assembled. It is the how types who are more adept at building those processes and systems. But most companies, no matter how well built, do not become billion-dollar businesses or change the course of industries. To reach the billion-dollar status, to alter the course of an industry, requires a very special and rare partnership between one who knows why and those who know how. In nearly every case of a person or an organization that has gone on to inspire people and do great things, there exists this special partnership between why and how. Bill Gates, for example, may have been the visionary who imagined a world with a PC on every desk, but Paul Allen built the company. Herb Keller was able to personify and preach the cause of freedom, but it was Roland King who came up with the idea for Southwest Airlines. Steve Jobs is the rebel's evangelist, but Steve Wozniak is the engineer who made the Apple work. Jobs had the vision, Woz had the goods. It is the partnership of a vision of the future and the talent to get it done that makes an organization great. This relationship starts to clarify the difference between a vision statement and a mission statement in an organization. The vision is the public statement of the founder's intent, why the company exists. It is literally the vision of a future that does not yet exist. The mission statement is a description of the route, the guiding principles, how the company intends to create that future. When both of those things are stated clearly, the why type and the how types are both certain about their roles in the partnership. Both are working together with clarity of purpose and a plan to get there. For it to work, however, it requires more than a set of skills. It requires trust. As discussed at length in part 3, trusting relationships are invaluable for us to feel safe. Our ability to trust people or organizations allow us to take risk and feel supported in our efforts. And perhaps the most trusting relationship that exists in between the visionary and the builder, the why guys and the how guys. In organizations able to inspire, the best chief executives are Y types, people who wake up every day to lead a cause and not just run a company. In these organizations, the best chief financial officers and chief operating officers are high performing. How types, those with the strength of ego to admit They are not visionaries themselves, but are inspired by the leader's vision and know how to build the structure that can bring it to life. The best how types generally do not want to be out front preaching the vision. They prefer to work behind the scenes to build the systems that can make the vision a reality. It takes the combined skill and effort of both for great things to happen. It's not an accident that these unions of why and how so often come from families or old friendships. A shared upbringing and life experience increases the probability of a shared set of values and beliefs. In the case of family or childhood friends, upbringing and common experiences are nearly exactly the same. That's not to say you can't find a good partner somewhere else. It's just that growing up with somebody and having a common life experience increases the likelihood of a shared common worldview. Walt Disney and Roy Disney were brothers. Bill Gates and Paul Allen went to high school together in Seattle. Herb Keller was Rolling King's divorce attorney and old friend. Martin Luther King Jr. and Ralph Abernathy both preached in Birmingham long before the civil rights movement took form. And Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak were best friends in high school. The list goes on. To run or to lead. For all the talented how types running to get today's organizations, they can achieve success that will last their lifetimes, but they will spend their lifetimes running their companies. There are many ways to be successful and drive profits. Any number of manipulations, only some of which I have touched upon in this book, work quite well. Even the ability to create a tipping point is possible without creating lasting change. It's called a fad. But great organizations function exactly like any social movement. They inspire people to talk about a product or idea, include that product in the context of their lifestyle, share the idea, or even find ways to advance the prosperity. Rajeshji, please scroll. Prosperity of the organization itself. Great organizations not only excite human spirit, they inspire people to take part in helping to advance the cause without needing to pay them or incentivizing them in any particular way. No cashback incentives or mail in rebates required. People feel compelled to spread the word, not because they have to, but because they want to. They willingly take up arms to share the message that inspires them. Anybody else wants to read? Okay, I'll continue. Build a megaphone that works. After After a 3-month selection process, BCI finally chose a new ad
Uh,
agency. Yes, Manishi, you want to read?
yeah.
Yeah, please go ahead.
A great organization not only excite the human spirit, they inspire people to take part in helping to advance the cause without needing to pay them or incentivize them in any particular way. No cashback incentives or mail-in rebates required. Well, the screen went away. 1 second. I think the screen went away. Hello, am I audible?
Wait, I'll try to share.
Yes, Manishji, you are audible.
Okay.
Anjali, can you please share the screen?
Yeah, I'm trying. 1 minute. I'm trying it, doing it for the first time, Simon. So
Okay,
just
okay, okay.
share. Where is the book? This is the. Uh, how to do this? I can see the book myself.
I think Manishti also knows. He may do.
1 minute. Wait. I'll try again. Share what? This is the book, no?
See, in the menu below, you will see, if you scroll on the right, yeah. If you scroll on the right, you will see the share options. Share option. You can do that.
Share.
Sorry, my network got disconnected.
See, can you see the
Anjali,
now?
Yes, now we can see.
Yeah.
Clear? Everything is clear.
Font, a little bit you may make it bigger.
Correct, na?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are we on the right page?
Yes, you have to read from this. Build a megaphone that works.
Okay. Let me start.
We finished this, na? No cashback incentives. Wala.
Okay. Build a megaphone that works. Can you make the font little bigger if possible?
Is it okay? Or you want still bigger?
Yeah, little more. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Right? Okay.
After a 3 month selection process, BCI finally choose a new ad agency to help develop a campaign to launch their new product. Big company Incorporated is a well-known brand operating in a fairly cluttered market space. As a manufacturer, their products are sold via a third-party sales force, often on the shelves of big box retailers. So they don't have direct control over the sales process. The best way, the best they can do is to try to influence the sale from a distance with marketing. BCI is a good company with a strong culture. The employees respect the management, and in general, the company does good work. But over the years, the competition has grown fairly stiff. And although BCI has a good product and competitive pricing, it is still tough to maintain strong growth year over year. This year, BCI management is particularly excited because the company is launching a new product they really think will make BCI stand out. To help promote it, BCI agency has launched a major new ad campaign. From the leading maker, says the new ad, comes the newest, most innovative product you have ever seen. The ad goes on to talk about all the new features and benefits and includes something about the quality you have come to expect from BCI, something the BCI executives felt quite strongly about including. BCI executives have worked hard to build their company's reputation and they want to leverage it. They are very excited about how the new campaign and are really banking on the success of this product to help drive sales in general. They know they do good work and they want to get the message out. They need it to be loud. And with a budget of millions of dollars to advertise their new product in that respect, BCI succeeds. But there is a problem. BCI and their agency did a good job of telling people about their new product. The work was quite creative. They were able to explain what was new and special about their latest innovation. And focus groups agreed that the new product was much better than that of the competition. The millions of dollars in media ensured that lots of people would see their advertising and see it often. They, their reach and frequency, the measurement commonly used by ad agencies to gauge the number of people exposed to the advertising, was very good. There is no doubt about that their message was loud. The problem was it was not clear. It was all what's and how and no why. Even though people learned that the products that the product even though people learned what the product did, No one knew what BCI believed. The good news is it is not a complete loss. The products will sell as long as the ads are on the air and the promotions remain competitive. It is an effective strategy, but an expensive way to make money. What if Martin Luther King had delivered a comprehensive 12-point plan about achieving civil rights in America, a plan more comprehensive than any other plan for civil rights over ever offered? Booming through the speakers on a summer's day in 1963, his message would have been loud. His message would have been loud. Microphones like advertising and PR are fantastic for making sure a message is heard. Like BCI, King's message would still have reached thousands of people, but his belief would not have been clear. Volume is reasonably easy to achieve. All it takes is money or stunts. Money can pay to keep a message front and center, and publicity stunts are good at getting on the news, but neither plants seeds of loyalty. Many Many reading this may remember that Oprah Winfrey once gave away a free car to every member of her studio audience. It happened several years ago in 2004, and still people refer to the stunt. But how many can recall the model of car she gave away? That is the problem. It was Pontiac that donated 7 million worth of cars. 276 of their new G6 model to be exact. And it was Pontiac that saw the stunt as a way to market their new car. Yet, although the stunt worked well to reinforce Oprah's generous nature, something with which we are all familiar, few remember that Pontiac was a part of the event. Worse, the stunt did not do anything to reinforce some purpose, cause, or belief that Pontiac represents. We had no idea what Pontiac's why was before the stunt. So it is hard for the publicity stunt to do much more than be a stunt to get some publicity with no sense of why. There is nothing else it is doing. For a message to have real impact, to affect behavior and send loyalty, it needs more than publicity. It needs to publicize some higher purpose, cause, or belief to which those with similar values and beliefs can relate. Only then can the message create any lasting mass market success. For a stunt to appeal to the left side of the curve of the law of diffusion, why the stunt is being performed beyond the desire to generate press must be clear. Though there may be short term benefits without clarity, loud is nothing more than excessive volume, or in business vernacular, clutter. And companies wonder why differentiation is such a challenge these days. Have you heard the volume coming from some of them? In contrast, what would have been the impact of Dr. King's speech had he not had a microphone and loudspeakers? His vision would have been no less clear. His words would have been no less inspiring. He knew what he believed, and he spoke with passion and charisma about that belief. But only the few people with front row seats would have been inspired by those words. A leader with a cause, whether it be an individual or an organization, must have a megaphone through which to deliver his message, and it must be clear and loud to work. Clarity of purpose, cause, or belief is important, but it is equally important that people hear you. For a why to have the power to move people, it must not only be clear, it must be amplified to reach enough people to tip the scale. It is no coincidence that the three-dimensional golden circle is a cone. It is in practice a megaphone. An organization effectively becomes the vessel through which a person with a clear purpose, cause, or belief can speak to the outside world. But for a megaphone to work, clarity must come first. Without a clear message, what will you amplify?
Yeah, let's end this chapter. Okay, cool. Today's reading. It will take another 7, 8 pages to complete this chapter. Let's continue this tomorrow.
Okay.
Tim, can you hear me? Hi, Tim.
Yeah.
Am I audible? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much, everyone, for today's reading, and thank you so much for your support. And thank you, Anjali, for sharing the screen. I faced a lot of fluctuation in my network, and I've been trying. I don't know how I'm audible. Yeah, but I don't want to lose the continuity for our reading. So we have some challenges. I want to continue this. Thank you for your support. Let's get into this today's discussion, whatever we have read. Since we started reading this book, the author says about the why part. He was focusing on the why part. But today, just having a why it's not going to fulfill or that making any things down. We need a strong how part as well. The why part can have the proper visionaries, but that the how part we know, and we have a strong team, those who know about how, they can build it. They can continue. That is what we have seen with a lot of examples today, with that the co-partners of the whether it's the Martin Luther King or the Steve Jobs or the Walt Disney, they have people, they have a team, or they have someone to help them to make it the strong how. So that's how we can bring it to that bring it to action or bring valuable output. Please share your thoughts, whatever you feel about today's reading. Please. Am I audible or do you feel a lot of noise or disturbance
No,
from
no,
my
you're
side?
you're audible.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, please share your thoughts.
So you rightly concluded, Rajeshji, that why and how they go together. And what I understand is that why means an idea, but how to execute is more important. Without just having an idea is not enough. We need a team, we need a supporter, we need a partner as well who knows the how thing. So why and how they go together only hand in hand and without each other's support. For example, what the example he gave for the Pontiac, Oprah Winfrey, she distributed Pontiac, the cars, to all the audience. But that was just the how. That the company was trying to promote their car, but there was no why. Why they are giving it and why a person should buy that car, it was missing. So it was not successful and it didn't have that much impact on it. So this is a good example. We always start with the why, but we don't know how. So better to take advice, better to form a team to work together, and then that why could be executed in a proper manner, and we can like achieve that goal also. Why we are having that vision and how we want to make it reach to the people. So why and how they work together. Nicely explained, no? This is my takeaway.
Yes, very true, Anjali. Yeah. Till now, the writer was emphasizing on the why part with so many examples, with so many relatable day-to-day examples. And now the how part is also added, vision plus mission. That he is stressing that for to first of all the vision must be there, and then the mission also should be there. These when these together work, then only the billionaires get successful. They get billionaires. So for that, like-minded team is also to be created to bring that vision part into the mission. Yes, that's it. I wanted to share. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Suman, for your sharing. Yes, Manish ji. Yeah, team. So in
Yeah,
today's
yeah.
reading, I think, yeah, would you like to share?
See, my hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah, so I want to on the same line, I want to mention something which I find very very high important in any area of life. See, the thing is, when you are inspired about something, that why factor gives you the inspiration to do something, whatever you are trying to do. And the why factor will keep you motivated every single day. Because what happens is that, a lot of talented people, they don't become good, successful businessmen because they are not inspired to that level it takes to achieve that goal. So, with every great effort, there should be inspiration, and the inspiration comes from why factor, right? So, uh, so everything, you need to have a team. You have a strong vision, but you need to have a team so that you can work on a consistent basis without without any loss of motivation. So when you have a great why factor and a passion, you inspire people to you inspire your team to achieve a goal, right, in a company or like in your business, whatever it is. So that inspiration will keep them motivated when the things go against you, right? So I think the inspiration will give you the motivation, the discipline to continue when uh, when you feel like giving up. But that inspiration will always give you the kick, the required motivation to keep working. Because I believe that that FTBA, feeling, thoughts, beliefs, and actions. So basically, you're inspired. When you are inspired, you have a strong confidence on your belief that yes, you can do that, and you really want to make that happen. So with that belief, your actions become stronger, and your all your thoughts, feelings, everything are aligned with your inspired action. So I think all these everything starts with why factor. That why you want to achieve something that you are trying to do, and that inspiration is like that unending motivation. It will always give you the kick to keep going, whatever might come on the way. So it's just I always believe on like those affirmations, that journaling every single day, because that will those affirmation basically it activates certain part of your brain that you need to have that motivation and that the good feelings and emotions to keep going. So all how factor, the why factor, and the most important is that whatever you are trying to do, you should be fully inspired. That yes, you like your why factor has to be very strong, because when your why factor is very strong, it means you are working at your best capability of your mind and your body, and everything starts from your mind. So when you have strong why factor, your brain is fully activated. Your neuro pathways and things like that. So whenever you find something challenging, just focus on your why factor, and you will find the strength to make it happen. So when the why is strong, then you can always work on your how and things like that. Why, where, and how. So everything starts with why, and I think all the other things will fall in place. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Manish ji, for your inputs. Yeah, you have nicely explained about the importance of the why part. See, the biggest takeaway for me, sometimes I thought about, okay, I know vision, I have some idea, I know what it is, why it is important. But if we don't have, I think, if why, I don't need to, I think it's not mandatory to be that the why part, the persons who clear about the why also should be knowing about the how, that they can get leverage from others. The how part, the what part. They can get, I think, they inspire people and then they make them do work. So that is what we have read in this chapter. I think today's the reading, it was very clearly explained. The why provides the direction and purpose. The how ensures that is the discipline, structure, and consistency delivery. Both are shaking hands each other. The why without how is just a dream. Just imagine if I have a clear why, but I don't have any of the proper directions to how to make it done, then this is just a dream. I think it's not going to make it happen. And also the how without why becomes aimless work. That is what the clear example is at Apple. When the Apple Steve Jobs was fired from the Apple 1985, the company became focused only on what part and the how part. They completely lost about that why part. That means that the innovation, the challenging norms, and all those things they have completely failed. That came up only when he came back to the Apple, and then they declined and everything. So the why, just having why is not going to make the meaningful result, and why and combined with the how. Even the how part also is not going to make anything big things. They have to combine with why. That is what we have read in today's chapter. Okay, so anyone want to share with the closing
Yeah,
thoughts?
good morning to all.
Yeah.
Um One thing which has got my attention while reading was about the amplification of the thoughts. And I mean, the person who has a strong reason to work out on a particular goal or whatever, he will be having an idea how to work out. But then coming to that, there would be so many thoughts and there will be so many, I mean, strategies to work out for it. I mean, the person would be knowing, but that person should know how to send that things to the team around. That is the process of amplification. There, the reader was telling about the usage of the microphones and just a normal delivery. So the person who is having a strong why should be so charismatic and he should be so strong that it's not only the part of thinking why and how, that amplification part should be very clear, and that should be I mean the version whatever he wants to convey, or whatever that should be that should give a strong impact to the team around. So I have seen many people who have a strong reason why, and logically or illogically they also know the reason how to do it, but that amplification part, most of them lag it. So I don't know. I think people should also work in that particular area to clear these two things, the path between how and why. Uh, yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
To add to that, even I was trying to say that broadcasting is very important, and or advertising your motive, your intention to make it reach to the people, that is also very important. How you are expressing your thought, ma- advertising or social media or just noise is not enough. It is how the taglines, for example, like taglines are there now for each and every product. They come up with a tagline. In fact, I remember Maggie, if you know that Maggie 2 minute noodle. So that 2 minute noodle now, that was such a catchy line when Maggie started, that mothers can prepare it in 2 minutes, children would get it in 2 minutes, everything. That 2 minute was the thing that that was attracting the people. That was really catchy for the mothers and the children. Everyone liked it very much. And now every noodle has become Maggie. In fact, whatever name they are coming in the market with, any noodle, we call it a Maggie. 2 minute noodle is Maggie. So that is how they promoted, and that is how they got the grip in the market. The way they were marketing, the way they were broadcasting their product, that is also important, along with why and how. That's all.
Yes, Anjali. Yeah, yeah. I think you explained about that with the example of the why the how part is important. I think just having visionary or just having something aim, it's not going to help. We have to how to implement it and how we have to uh, amplify it. That is also important.
And one more example is like I being a yoga trainer, at times there would be a compulsion for me to take a break. So the people who are around me, I've before that, I mean, before maybe 6 months or 1 year back, I used to tell them that any one of them could take the class, don't break the discipline or whatever. But these days, when I'm taking a break, I'm just rephrasing the words like, that our duty is to spread the positivity in the community. Our duty is to make the other people fit and make the other people, emotionally and mentally balanced. And so it's just a request from my side to do that job so that, our purpose would be fulfilled. So, I mean, there is a lot of difference between me saying the words like that, I mean, the older version and the newer version as well. So it's like you're giving a proper right to the people also, that you are also one of the person who is contributing to that, and you're also getting the same benefits as well. So I think that will also make a difference.
Yeah, but this approach is a good approach. I think we are not making people to go with the external force. I think when
Yes,
you
yes,
share these things, so
yeah,
those who are interested, then that will come from within, and they will come with some implementation. That they will come with something, some idea. I think I can give you one example. I think what we are doing now. I think the Mansi has been leading for around the book leading for the longer time. And I think one point of time, I think she also needs some break and she also takes some relax. And I think all times we are not going. Okay,
yes,
so someone has to pitch in and taking up some responsibility. Okay, let her she
yes,
can take. So there is not should that should not come from that external force. Hey, who is ready? Who is going to do next tomorrow? So someone should
yes,
come forward. Okay, I will take. Then
yes,
okay, she can be relaxed. Like that, I think we have to combine. We have to share each other. That is not that external things. The internal. Someone come from the voluntarily. Someone express it and continue further. So
yeah,
that is a good thing for the community and as well as the group and also
yes,
the person
and
who was leading it.
yes, and the way you should, inspire the community is by telling the end product as well. Instead of who is going to take the class, rather than that, we can tell that due to this, all things are getting benefited. So who is going to get or who is going to give that particular gift to the team around you? Yes, exactly that.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
Rajesh,
yeah.
and it really works because this is my fifth year of teaching yoga to the people around. For the
Mm-hmm.
first 2 or 3 years, maybe, um,
Mm-hmm.
I was not in a position to give my class to any one of them, maybe
Mm-hmm.
due to any reasons. But now I have trained them in such a way that this particular chain, that is the end product of working together and spreading the positiveness, shouldn't be broken at any cost. And
Mm-hmm.
actually, when you really observe over here, uh, you're not showing your attitude, and at the same time you're also massaging their egos and attitudes. So once
Yeah, yeah.
when it comes to that particular equilibrium point, then all would think that their hearts would be connected to a certain level, I mean beyond a different spiritual level. So in that way also the unity will happen in a very beautiful way. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I think we are bringing people together. I think this is sometimes one point of time, it will be individual business or individual one person. So when
yes,
we are sharing with others, we are giving the rights and they are also taking part of it. They are also taking the responsibility. That
yes,
can
yes, yes,
make them to feel that okay, this is not his business or her business or something. It's our business or I think our motto to work,
yes, yes,
our intention to fulfill something. That's a great thing. I think that makes a lot of wonders
yes.
when we trust people. That's
True.
also important, right?
And at the end of the class, really from the core of the heart, I will tell them that thank you to all the beautiful souls around me who have helped me to evolve spiritually. Because the
Super.
how factor is clear and they have participated that how factor. If that how factor is not there for me, then there is no point of why over here. So they are the main people who have given me a chance to evolve for myself as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
in that way, that unity will be really different, Rajesh.
Nice.
So
That's nice.
yeah,
Good,
thank you.
good, good, good sharings today. I really got inspired from all your sharings. Okay, now time is 8:11, and anyone want to share the final thoughts, or we can call it for the day for today's session, and let's meet again tomorrow morning.
Yeah, here one thing which I feel very important is, when your wife factor is very strong, it will keep you grounded and disciplined. And I think in every act of life, I think discipline is very important. So
Yeah, yeah,
basically,
of course.
discipline will keep your mind in control, and mind is everything. So if you can control your mind, you can do so many great things. And when you have strong wife factor, when you are fully inspired, and when we are consistent, our thoughts and our thoughts and our thoughts are free, they work like a magnet. Okay, so it will attract the right resources, people, team, knowledge, right? Your spiritual awakening. So it will act like a magnet, and it will attract the right things that you need to make that happen. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. I think I was last night, I was a little worried about today's sessions as I'm traveling and how will be the network and all the things. I was a little worried, but still, I don't want to cancel or I don't want to give anything. I want to continue the chain. And we started
Your why
something.
and how factor is really strong enough, Rajesh.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, the other part of the way. I mean, you'll also realize that our mind tells so many reasons which are false. Like you were worried and all that stuff. But then, as your why purpose is very clear, the universe has blessed you to,
Yeah.
conduct the class in a beautiful way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's great sharing from everyone. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Let's call for the day,
Have a
and
great
tomorrow
day.
let's connect again at 7 o'clock. I think tomorrow onwards we can start sharp 7 o'clock. Not to waste the first few minutes, and we can continue. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
See you all
Bye-bye.
tomorrow morning. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye bye.